Assalamu alaikum, I'm Saadat Nisar and you are studying e-commerce. If you remember, we were discussing different style sheet properties using which we can introduce different styles, different formats to our HTML pages, HTML documents. And if you recall, I mentioned that there are 4 different methods of introducing style sheets. These 4 methods are: number 1, the embedded type; number 2, external type; number 3, inline method; and number 4, style classes. Let's have a brief overview again of all these different methods. In case of embedded type, we use the tag style tag, and within the starting and closing style tag, in fact, we provide the style definitions. The syntax is that we write certain tags, the names of certain tags without angular bracket, like just H1 or the letter P indicating paragraph tag, and then we use the curly brackets, and within the curly bracket we in fact provide different properties allocating certain values to these properties. So within the curly bracket, if I write font size colon 34 point and I apply this property to a paragraph tag by using the letter P before the start of the curly bracket, that in fact would be a style definition, meaning thereby that within the body tag, wherever I have used certain paragraph tags, all such paragraph tags would adopt this property font size, whatever value I have given in the style definition. Then in case of external method, what we do is we create an external file with the extension CSS. So I can create a file mystyles.css, and in that external file, in fact, I provide my style definitions. I do not provide these style definitions in the HTML document itself. Rather, I keep these definitions in this CSS file. And thereafter, I use a special link tag in my HTML document, in my HTML code, and I use the attributes relation, and I use the attribute type, and then another attribute href, and in this attribute href, I give the value of that external file, and thereby automatically the browser would resort to that external file and would read the style definitions from there and then apply them on the HTML document within the body tag. The advantage of having the external file in this case is that the editing job becomes very easy for us. In the third method for applying style sheets, that is called the inline method, we use the keyword style as an attribute in different tags. Therefore, we can use this attribute style in some paragraph tag, in a heading tag, or say in a div tag, etc. And accordingly, within that tag, whatever text I have enclosed, that text would carry these properties which I have mentioned using the inline method. So the syntax is that I use this attribute style, I put the equal sign, then double quotation mark, and within the double quotation marks, in fact, I specify those properties and their values which I want to become applicable to the text enclosed within that tag. The fourth method, as we had discussed, is style classes. So in case of style classes, what we do, again, we use style tag before the body tag, and in that pair of style tag, we in fact give the definition of different style classes. We use the syntax that there would be a dot sign. After that dot, we give the name of the class we want to use, and then within the curly brackets, we specify all those properties, all that package we in fact want to become applicable to different tags. So in this fashion, within the style tag, we define different style classes. In this method, we use an attribute class. Therefore, within the body tag, say if I have used a few div tags, then I would use the attribute class in all those div tags, and I can assign the value as the name of that class without the dot sign to that attribute class. So if class equal text1 was my class, the name of my class, so automatically all those properties which were set out, which were mentioned in that class, they would become applicable to the text which is enclosed within the div tag. You may also recall that we had talked about two tags, that is the div tag and the span tag. Remember, we do all our text work within these div and span tags when we want to use these tags. In case of a div tag, the browser automatically provides a line break before the starting div tag and after the end div tag. On the other hand, in case of a span tag, no such line break is provided, and therefore there is the effect of continuity in case of span tag. You may recall that in case of paragraph tag, again we do our text work within the paragraph tag, we write our paragraphs within the paragraph tag, and the effect of paragraph tag is that it provides a line break as well as a line space at its beginning. Whatever work we can do in the paragraph tag, we can do in the div tag, in the span tag also, with these differences in mind. If you remember, the point at which we had left our previous lecture was that we were discussing the property in style sheet that is used to provide certain background colors to our web pages. So therefore, if you remember, we had discussed the property background color. Using this property and giving certain color names as the value to this property, we can allocate, we can assign different background colors to our web pages. We can also use the RGB values, that is that 6-digit hexadecimal code with a number sign, and thereby also we can specify the colors, the background colors. Then we were discussing another property, background dash image, and after putting the colon sign and writing the letters URL and within small bracket by providing the image name using this syntax, in fact, we can also provide an image as a background for our web page. So whatever image name we have given to this property, background image, that image would therefore would be reflected as a background for our website, our web page. We had seen an example in this regard. You can look at that example. Now, the new thing I'm going to tell you about this property is that there is another feature that we can add. We can use a property background attachment, and by allowing its value as fixed, that would be possible that our image, that our picture would remain static. It would not scroll. So therefore, if the user scrolls the text which is appearing on top of an image, then that text would, although scroll, the image would remain at its position because we have used the background attachment fixed, and which does not allow the image to scroll along with the text. Next, I want to discuss with you another important concept used in style sheets, which is the style sheet box model. This model, in fact, is based on this notion, on this idea that whatever content we enclose in a tag, in fact, that content is surrounded by certain boundaries. In fact, it is enclosed in an invisible box. And we can make this invisible box visible by using a property border and keeping it certain value, thin, medium, thick, etc. So using this notion, in fact, we can give rise to certain keywords, certain properties, and by allocating values to these properties, we can then bring about some unique styles, some unique formats for our websites. Now I want to show you this style box. In the slide, you can see in the green box, there is some content, some text, some image, maybe a table, and then all this content, in fact, is enclosed in an invisible box, and you can see the boundary of this box that is referred as border. So there is a border of this box. We can make this border viewable by using a property border. And then you can see there is a term used, padding. Padding, in fact, refers to the space or the distance which would be kept between the content and the boundaries or the border of this box. And then you can also see another keyword, another property, margin. Margin would in fact be the distance which two different boxes would have in between themselves. So using these properties, in fact, padding, margin, different dimensions, we can allocate different styles to our web pages. Let's see with the help of an example what are the different dimension styles that we can introduce using this concept. In the slide, you can see that there are in fact 3 boxes. In the first box, there is a sentence written. This is some text contained in a box. And you can see that this sentence is surrounded by a boundary all around it. That is because I have used border property and have made the border viewable. And then because of the paragraph tag, there is a line break, a line space, and then you can see the middle box, and the sentence written is, this paragraph is contained in a box 100 pixels high. You can see that the height of this box, this is 100 pixels. Afterwards, you see there is a third box in which the sentence written is, this paragraph is contained in a box 100 pixels wide. And you can see that the width of this box in this particular case is 100 pixels. Let's have a look at the code behind this result. We start with the HTML tag, then there is the style tag, and I provide the style definition. I provide the style definition to the paragraph tag. So by syntax, I write the key letter P, which refers to the paragraph tag. Then there is the curly bracket, and then I use this property border, colon, and I allocate it the value thin solid. Then I close the style tag. I start the body tag. In the body tag, in fact, I have used 3 paragraph tags. In the first paragraph tag, I have written, this is some text contained in a box. So you just saw that the box would be containing some text and its dimensions would be normal. Then in the second paragraph tag, I have used the inline style, and I have used the property height, giving it the value 100 pixels, and writing the sentence, this paragraph is contained in a box 100 pixels high. So you have already seen that the box that would contain this sentence would be 100 pixels high consequently. In the third paragraph tag, again the inline style method is used and the property is width. I have given it the value 100 pixels and I have written the sentence, this paragraph is contained in a box 100 pixels wide, and accordingly you saw that the box was created having the width 100 pixels. Then I close the body tag, I close the HTML tag. So that is the example in which we have used this concept of dimensions, and by using the keywords, the properties, width and height, we were able to adjust the height and the width of this box, and we were also able to make the boundaries of this box visible using the border property in the embedded method. There is a slide before you. You can see there are in fact 3 boxes, and there is a sentence written in these 3 boxes. I read it. Mind is everything what you think you become. And these 3 boxes, they are separated by 5 pixels from each other. And then let's have a look at the code which is used to create such a result. This is the example of the property padding, and I have used the style tag. In the style tag, I use the div tag, and I provide certain properties: border, thin, solid, width 100 pixels, margin bottom 5 pixels, and all this information that I have given in this style definition within the div tag, that information would universally be applied to all div tags which are contained within the body tag. Then the body tag starts, and you see in the first div tag, I use the inline style equal padding top, and I have kept its value 15 pixels. Then semicolon, the other property, padding bottom 15 pixels, and I enclose the sentence, mind is everything what you think you become. The effect of this div tag would be that automatically the browser would create a space between the content and the boundaries of the border from top and bottom up to 15 pixels. In the subsequent div tag, the style, inline style is used, and padding left value 15 pixels, padding right again value 15 pixels, and I again enclose the same sentence. The result would be that on the left and on the right side, the distance of 15 pixels would be automatically created between the content and the boundaries of the box. We have made this box visible by using the property border thin solid in the style definition at the top. Then comes the third div tag, and here style, I've just used the word padding, as you can see, and I have allocated 4 values to this property: 10 pixels, 15 pixels, 10 pixels, 15 pixels, and I have repeated the same sentence. The padding, the word padding here is a general property, and according to a sequence, according to the order, that there would be first the top padding, then right, then bottom, then left. According to this sequence, this order, 10 pixels from the top would be left, 15 pixels from right, 10 pixels from bottom, and 15 pixels from left. This space would automatically be created as a padding for this example. Then we close the body tag, close the HTML tag, and you have already seen the result. We saw there were 3 boxes, and then we saw that differently the padding was created for all these 3 different boxes according to the specifications we had given in the 3 div tags. Out of this style box model, there is another property that emerges, and that is in relation to borders of those invisible boxes. And there are in fact 3 different properties in relation to borders that I would talk about. One is border width, then border style, and the third is border color. Using these 3 different keywords, different properties in relation to borders, we can assign different size, different width to the borders. We can also provide different styles to the borders. We can create different colors in relation to each border. Border width property has different values, so we can use the keyword thin, medium, thick we can also provide values to this property in terms of pixels, inches or centimeters, and accordingly the width of the border would be adjusted accordingly. Then border style property has certain prescribed values. One is solid. So where the value is solid, the border would be a solid line. In case the value of this border style is double, a double line would be created for the border purposes. Then another value is groove. Where the value is groove, there would in fact be a V-shaped line that would appear to be sinking into the page. For the value ridge, the impression would be created as if there is a V-shaped line and that is emerging out of the page. If we keep the value of the border style property as inset, there would then be a simple line that would be sinking, that would be penetrating into the page. It would give such an impression. In case the value is outset, then it would appear as if that line is coming out of the page. We can also keep the value of this border style property as none. Where the value is none, then there would not be any such effect. Then we can also use the property border color, and we can specify different colors names as values to this property border color. We can give the color names, or we can also use the RGB values to provide color names as values for this property border color. Then we can simultaneously use these different properties for borders, like we can use at the same place the border width, the border style, border color, and we can then accordingly introduce different border styles thereby. I can now show you an example. In the slide before you, in fact, I have created 3 boxes and I have used the border style. I have enclosed the sentence in the first box. This is an example of border style using a thin border. Then there is some space, and then there is the second box, and the line reads, this is a medium-sized border with groove style. And the third box contains the sentence, this is an example of thick border with border style outset. So in fact, I have used a solid, a groove, and an outset type of border in this particular case using div tags. And let's see the code behind this. We start with the HTML tag, then style tag, and in the style tag I have used the style definition, div margin bottom 20 pixels. That means that I want each box for the div tag to be separated bottom wise by 20 pixels. Then the body tag, and in the first div, inline style, border width thin, border style solid, and I write, this is an example of border style using a thin border. As you just saw that accordingly a thin line border would be created and whose style would be a solid line. Then in the second div tag, again an inline style border width is medium and border style is groove. So therefore a groove style border would be prepared, would be created, and the width of that border would be medium size. And the sentence written would be, this is a medium size border with groove style. And the third div tag, style, inline style is used, border width thick and border style outset, and I have enclosed the sentence, this is an example of thick border with border style outset, and this third div closed, body and HTML accordingly closed. And you just saw that it would in fact create 3 boxes for us, which would be bottom wise separated by 20 pixels, and different border width and border styles would be introduced in relation to these three different boxes. Okay, let me point out that we can also assign individually different border styles to each of the border constituting a box. So we can have a different border style, a different border color or width. Let's say for the top border we can have a different border style or color, for the right border different, for the left border different, for the bottom border. So in this way we can individually assign, we have this flexibility, we can keep different border styles for each of the constituting borders for a box. In case I want to assign a different unique value for the border style for the top border, say I want to introduce a different width, what I can do, I write the keyword border dash top dash width, and then I can provide certain value. Accordingly, the top of the border would be displayed according to that value. Say I want to give a different unique border color to the right border, what I can do is border right color, then I can give some value, and accordingly the right border would be displayed according to that color. In case I want to use a general property, I do not specifically use these words border top right, border top width, border bottom width, border left width, or bottom right width. Rather, I just use the general property, the keyword border width, and I provide 4 different values. Then accordingly, these values would be allocated to the top, right, bottom, and left borders accordingly. Similarly, in case I want the border colors to be displayed, and I just use the general property border color, and then I provide the value in terms of 4 different colors, then these colors would be allocated in the sequence, in the order that the first color would be for the top border, then for the right border, then the third color would be for the bottom border, and then for the left border, the last color would be for the left border. So let's have a look at another example now. In the slide you can see there are again 2 different boxes with different border styles. In the first I have written, this line is written in a box having inset style border and a border width of 1 centimeter. And then after some space there is the second box. You can see there are different colors, border colors for this box, and I have written, this line is written in a box having ridge style border and different border colors. In this example, in fact, I have used the border style inset and the border style ridge. And let's see the code. As you can see, we start with the HTML tag, then the style tag, and I have used the div tag. I'm giving a style definition, and I use the property margin bottom and fixing its value 20 pixels. That would indicate that each box enclosing certain text within the div tag, that box should be separated bottom wise by 20 pixels from the other box. Then the body tag, and I use the div tag using the inline style equal border width 1 centimeter, border style inset, and then the line, this line is written in a box having inset style border and a border width of 1 centimeter. So consequently, as you have seen, the box would be created having the width 1 centimeter and the style of the border would be inset. Then in the second div tag, again the inline style, now border width, I allocate 10 pixels as value of the border width here. Then the border color, you can notice that I have given 4 values to this property, general property, border color, I have given the values red, green, yellow and blue. And accordingly, automatically the browser would allocate a red color to the top border, green to the right border, yellow to the bottom and blue to the left border. I can also, if I want, specify individually the borders colors. So if I want to give the top of the border a different color, I can use the property border top color and I can allocate certain value to that. That would then specifically be individually be allocated to that top border. Then you can see border style and I give it the value ridge. Therefore, there would be a line that would be emerging as a out of the page, V-shaped line that would be emerging out of the page. That is the impact that a ridge style provides. I write the sentence, this line is written in a box having ridge style border and different border colors. So accordingly, this line would be shown in that particular box. I close the div tag, close the body tag, then HTML tag, and you have seen the result just before. Then the style boxes, they also give rise to another property, that is the margin property. You have also seen some hint about it in the earlier examples when I kept margin bottom 20 pixels. There, in fact, I was using this property, margin property. You remember that the property margin is used to refer to the distance which two boxes would carry in between themselves. So if there is some text, say in the heading tag, and there is some text in the paragraph tag, I can, by using this property margin, I can adjust the distance between the contents in the heading tag and the paragraph tag. I need to write this keyword margin, and this is the general property, margin property, and then I can allocate in terms of pixels certain values, and then the distances would automatically be created. Let's see an example in this regard. On the slide, you may find that there are, in fact, two boxes. The first box, it is in the yellow background, and I have written, the great thing in this world is not so much where we are, but in what direction we are moving. And then there is some space between this box and the box underneath it. There is 100 pixels space, and then I have created a heading which reads, this heading appears with a bottom margin of 100 pixels, and this heading you can see is in white font, and this is in the black background. Let's have a look at the code. Again, we start with the HTML tag, then there is the style tag, and then you can see I assign certain properties to the paragraph tag using a style definition. So I keep margin top 100 pixels, then margin bottom 100 pixels, margin left 200 pixels, and margin right 200 pixels. And then I close the style tag. This package, these properties, in fact, would be automatically now allocated to all the paragraph tags which are used within the body tag. Then in the body tag, in fact, I have used just one paragraph tag, and further I use inline style background color yellow, that results into a yellow background. Then font size 34 point, the text would be therefore in 34 point font size. And then I use another property, text align justify. So the text would be justified, and I write, the great thing in this world is not so much where we are, but in what direction we are moving. I optionally close the paragraph tag, and therefore we have just seen that because in the style definition we had kept the left margin 200 pixels and right margin 200 pixels, therefore a margin of 200 pixels from the left edge of the browser window would be kept for writing this content, and then the margin of 200 pixels would also be created from the right edge of the browser window, because we have used the margin property, margin right 200 pixels. Similarly, 100 pixels from the top and 100 pixels from the bottom. You may notice that because I have used margin bottom 100 pixels in the paragraph tag, therefore before the start of the heading tag there would be a distance of 100 pixels. Then we come to the second div tag. I have used the inline style again, background color black, color white. That means that I want some text in white font to be displayed in the black background, and in the heading format I write this heading appears with the bottom margin of 100 pixels. So there is a gap of 100 pixels between the content contained in the paragraph tag and this content enclosed in the heading tag accordingly. And then the div tag closed, body and HTML closed, and you have already viewed the result that refers to this code. Another property in relation to style box model is position property, and this can be quite helpful, quite useful in allocating certain position for particular text. And the keyword that we have to use is position, and then to this property position we can allocate different values. In fact, there are 3 prescribed values for this position property. These are absolute, then the second value can be static, and the third value is a relative. They have different connotations, as we'll see with the help of an example. Along with this property position, we also use properties or keywords like left, right, bottom, top, and we can assign different values in terms of pixels to these keywords left, right, bottom, top, etc. And then with the help of these properties we can fix the location of our content on the web page. You can notice that wherever we use the position style, the regular flow of the text would accordingly be broken, and according to our specifications, the values we have given for left, right, top, bottom, according to those values then our content would be positioned. We can make that content visible also by using the border property. We can make that border also visible thereby. Okay, now let's have a look at an example. In the slide you can see there are in fact 4 different sections I have created. One is the clothes section. You can see it is almost at the top of the browser window. Then the second section is music section, the third toys section, and the fourth is books section. In fact, in relation to these words, I have used the position property, and thereby I have been able to display them on different locations on the browser window. And then at the top you see the sentence, the regular text, which runs, "We must believe in luck, for how else can we explain the success of those we do not like?" And then there is a paragraph tag which has contained in it a sentence. This is an example of position styles. In this particular example, in fact, we have used the position property and keeping its value as absolute, and you can see the code behind this result now. Okay, with the HTML we start, then the style tag, and then there is a div tag. I have used the font size property, setting its value 18 point. That means that throughout the body tag, wherever the div tag is used, the font size of the text could be 18 point. Then the body tag starts, and I have used a few div tags there. First div tag, style, inline style, and I use this property with the keyword position. Position absolute, then left 700 pixels, top 200 pixels, and I enclose the words books section and div tag closed. Therefore, these words book section, they would be shown on the browser screen, keeping them apart from the left edge by 700 pixels and from the top edge of the browser window by 200 pixels as we had specified. Wherever we use this position absolute, you should keep this thing in mind that the values given in the left, top, right, bottom, etc. in terms of pixels, these values would be then determined, making the edges of the browser window as a reference point. So where left is 700 pixels, that would mean that from the left edge, the left extreme corner or the edge of the browser window, 700 pixels should be counted and the words book section therefore be displayed accordingly. Okay, then the second div tag, style, again position absolute. Now I change the value of the left property. Left is now 200 pixels, top 150 pixels, and I write the words toys section. Consequently, the words toys section would be displayed keeping a space from the left corner, the left edge of the browser window up to 200 pixels, and from the top of the browser window 150 pixels. Then in the third div tag, position, again absolute. That means I want to make the edges of the browser window as reference point for calculation of left, top, right, bottom values. Then left 500 pixel, top 100 pixels, and I enclose the words music section. Consequently, these words music section would be displayed according to the specification, the values I have kept for left and top in this particular div tag. Then the fourth div tag, as you can see, again position is absolute. Now I change the value of left, it is now 100 pixels, top is 0 pixels, and I write the words clothes section. As you have noticed that these words clothes section, they would start at the top of the browser screen because the value of top is 0 pixels and the value of left is 100 pixels. So from the left edge of the browser window, these words clothes section would be 100 pixels displayed. And then I write the regular text. You can see, we must believe in luck. For how else can we explain the success of those we don't like? So this sentence would appear as a regular text at the top of our browser screen. I have not used any left, right, top, or I have not used any position property. Therefore, this appears as a regular text where it should have appeared usually. Then there is a paragraph tag and I use the inline style. Position is absolute, left 200 pixels, top 30 pixels, and I write this is an example of position styles, and I close the body and HTML tag. You can notice one thing here, that because the position is absolute, therefore the properties which are associated with the paragraph tag would not be implemented. That means that the line break and a line space which a paragraph should provide us by rule, this line break and line space would not be created for us where we are keeping position absolute and we are giving values in terms of left and top, as in this case. So here where position is absolute, then only the properties left and top would be implemented, would be executed, and then the line break and line space associated with the paragraph tag would be ignored. This is, again I repeat, because we have kept the position absolute. Wherever we keep position absolute, we always make the edges of the browser window as reference point for calculations, for determining the position of our content. Here I want to show you another example in which I have used the position property value as relative, and then you will be able to understand the difference between absolute and relative. So you can see this example. There is the result before you of a code where I have used the position property, both absolute and relative values for this position property. Okay, we can see at the top there are words close section, and then there is a sentence, and after that sentence there is a line break and a line space, and this is because a paragraph tag has been used, and then there is a line which is separated from the left edge up to some pixel points, and this runs as, this is an example of position styles. This line is displayed as such because I have used here in this paragraph tag the position property value as a relative. And then you can see the words music section and then toys section, book section. These words are positioned accordingly as per the values I have used for the position property in relation to these words in the div tags. Let's have a look at the code now. There is the style tag, then there is the div tag, font size 18 point, style closed. Then we start with the body tag. In the div tag, the first div, style, position, absolute, left 700, top 200, and the words are book section. So these words would therefore be shown according to the values of left and top. The position is absolute, so therefore the browser window would be taken as the reference point for calculating these pixels. In the second div, style again, position absolute, left 200, top 150, and I have written the words toys section, which would accordingly be displayed. In the third div, style, position absolute, left 500 pixels, top 100 pixels, and the words music section, they would therefore be shown according to these values. In the fourth div tag, style, position, absolute, left 100 pixels, top 0 pixels, and the words enclosed are close section, which as you saw, these words close section would be displayed at the start of the browser window at its top. And then the regular text, we must believe in luck, for how else can we explain the success of those we don't like. And then the paragraph tag, this is the point you should notice. In the paragraph tag here, I use the inline style and I keep the value of the position property relative. So here I make a change from the previous example. I keep here the value of position as relative. Then I use the keyword left and I assign it the value 200 pixels. And then top, and I give it the value 5 pixels. And then I write the sentence. This is an example of position styles. Then body close and then HTML closed. As I had already pointed out to you that in case of position value relative, the paragraph tag would be implemented. So therefore, first of all, there would be a line break, a line space, which a paragraph tag provides for us. And after that, the values of these keywords left and top, these values would be then implemented. And the reference point would be, in such a case where position is relative, would be the normal position of the text. So the position where the text should have appeared, that would be taken as the reference point, the standard from where the calculation of pixels for left and top would be made. In other words, where we use position relative, first of all, that particular tag where we use that tag would be implemented. So in this case, where it's a paragraph tag, that tag would be implemented, a line break, a line space would be created, and then keeping that position where the text should have appeared after implementing the paragraph tag, keeping that position as a reference point, the values of left and top would be calculated. So in this case, after fixing the reference point, the left 200 pixels would be calculated, and top from that point 5 pixels would be calculated. A space of 5 pixels would be then created from the top edge in this way. So in today's class, we have basically examined the style sheet box model, and we have seen what are the different properties like dimension property, then the padding property, border property, margin, position properties. We'll continue with this topic a little bit, and then we'll start our main topic, which is JavaScripting, in the subsequent lecture. Until then, Allah Hafiz.